Once upon a time at a South African university? Now I know what you're thinking. Oh no, not another story of two broke roommates finding themselves through cheap wine and revolutionary dreams. Well, yes and no. Because this one's got Ghanaian and Nkrumah fanboys, Zimbabwean diplomat dads, protest floods, missing emails, and a junkie in a borrowed hoodie coughing up blood on somebody's clean carpet. Welcome to The King and I by Novuyo Rosa Tshuma, a story that laughs in the face of cliches and tells the truth with an uncomfortable straight face. Let's get into it. Once upon a time, not in Hollywood, but in a university somewhere in South Africa, two students met, Nana from Ghana and Sipho from Zimbabwe. Now Sipho, our narrator, is the one with a little bit of privilege sprinkled on his cereal. His father's in politics. Not the president, mind you, but political enough to afford him a car on campus. A car on campus. That's like being Beyoncé in a crowd of first years trying to register for courses with dial-up internet. And then there's Nana, the revolutionary, the idealist, the next Kwame Nkrumah in his own dreams. The man is hungry for African unity, allergic to capitalism, and ready to start a protest at the drop of a neoliberal essay title. Together, these two were like Che and Fidel, or maybe just two guys too broke to buy textbooks, but rich enough in ideology to flood the campus with slogans. They protested everything: inequality, bad government, bad essays. Yes, essays. One time, when a political science student won an award for an essay titled African Despots, The Dynamics of a Failed Socialism, they staged a protest. Just the two of them, in the rain. Like ideological Romeo and Juliet, except wetter and angrier. And while Nana lived with Hannah, a Sudanese girl who probably deserved her own novella, the two friends continued their campus life full of big dreams, bigger debates, and the biggest assumption of all, that being poor and woke automatically meant you were destined for greatness. Then they graduated, and life said, let's see how idealism tastes with a dash of real-world disappointment. After graduation, Sipho stayed in South Africa. His father, now dethroned in the chaotic world of Zimbabwean politics, still had enough pull to get him a job at the Zimbabwean embassy. You see, political connections may fall, but they don't really die. They just switch offices. Sipho, in a new suit and tie, moved on. Nana? Well, Nana returned to Ghana and seemed to be doing quite well. At first, job secured, rising through the ranks, no protests, no rain-soaked revolutions, just emails between two old friends, until Nana stopped replying. Now, if you've ever had a friend who ghosted you after university, you might relate to this. One minute they're posting philosophical quotes on WhatsApp. The next minute, they're nowhere to be found. But Sipho? He didn't have to stalk Nana's social media to find out what happened. The streets did the talking. Whispers came in, like winds through the corridors of disappointment. Nana had been fired. There were whispers of embezzlement, fraud, then drug peddling, then sightings in Johannesburg's more, shall we say, chemically enhanced neighborhoods, and then the knock. On a regular day in a regular house, Sipho opened his door and there he was, Nana. He looked like a rain cloud had swallowed him and spit him out. His shoes were muddy, his coat was heavy, his lungs, coughing up phlegm laced with blood. I wish I were exaggerating. Sipho's wife, Asanda, was not impressed. Not in the who is this long-lost friend kind of way, but in the get this drugged-up homeless man off my white carpet way. Nana, once the passionate idealist who quoted Nkrumah before breakfast, was now a junkie. And a sticky one too. Not because of emotion, but because he actually left phlegm stains behind. That's hard to unsee. Still, Nana asked for just one night. Sipho, being the brother's keeper he always was, let him stay. But in the morning, gone. So was he. And so were a few items from the house. The silence that followed said more than any old protest chant. The story I've just shared with you, raw, painful, funny, and unsettling, is called The King and I by Novuyo Rosa Tshuma. Now let me tell you why this story hits different. You see, we're used to hearing stories where the underdog wins, where the poor but brilliant student rises above it all, becomes a leader, and then gives a TED Talk. That's the African movie formula. That's the go-to narrative. Poverty equals fuel for greatness. But Tshuma says, hold up, what if it doesn't? What if poverty doesn't refine character but breaks it? What if it's the privileged who win, not because they're better, but because they already had the head start? What if the revolutionaries end up addicts and the sons of politicians still get jobs even after the regime changes? That's the story Tshuma dares to tell. Sipho ends up working in an embassy, probably shaking hands with people who still believe in diplomacy. Nana? He ends up coughing blood on a carpet. And yet we never fully hate Nana, because we remember the rain protests, the laughter, the dreams, the hunger to change Africa. It makes the ending not just tragic, but personal. Like watching your favorite activist sell Herbalife on Instagram. And let's talk about Sipho. He's not exactly a hero. He's just a man who benefited from the same system he used to rail against, but never quite denounced when it came to helping himself. There's discomfort in his actions, letting Nana sleep, but also watching him bleed, helping him, but also suspecting him, mourning him, but locking the drawer just in case. The brilliance of the story lies in that moral gray zone. It refuses to be neat. Now about the brilliant mind behind this story. Novuyo Rosa Tshuma is a Zimbabwean writer currently based in South Africa. Her work has appeared in several anthologies, including African Roar 2010 and the Bed Book of Short Stories. She also won the Intwasa Short Story Competition in 2009. And I can tell you, this isn't just someone who knows how to write. She knows how to hold up a mirror to our lives and ask the hard questions. Who really wins in post-colonial Africa? Are we rewriting our own futures or just inheriting recycled systems? And what happens when the people with the biggest dreams fall the hardest? So here's to Nana, the revolutionary who didn't make it, and to Sipho, the revolutionary who sort of did, but maybe at the cost of his soul, and to Tshuma, for reminding us that not every friendship ends in reunion, not every activist becomes a president, and not every story has to have a happy ending to be true. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more stories that challenge the norm and stay with you long after the last sentence. Until next time. Hey, thanks so much for hanging out with me today. If you're interested in diving deeper into this book, I've left some links down in the description. You can use it to grab yourself a copy and keep the adventure going. And if you're in the mood for more great reads, don't go just yet. Click on one of the videos popping up right now that I think you'll love. And don't forget to give this review a like, leave a comment, or even subscribe if you'd like to see more. Every bit of support helps us grow this little community of book lovers. See you in the next one.